All right, so we had a question in the comment section, and I think it's intriguing. I think it's worth the conversation. Josh Rock Music says, would you sign OBJ, Odell Beckham Jr., vet wide receiver, probably looking for a chance on a contender, maybe could give a spark to our offense? First of all, bro, that's a great question. And I'm not going to argue with that or try to be snazzy and have a clap back. That's a great question. Would I sign Odell Beckham Jr.? That I don't know if I would sign OBJ because of the history of Odell Beckham Jr. Not just on the field, but from a diva standpoint. However, you do make a good point. Vet wide receiver, probably looking for a chance on a contender, maybe could give a spark to our offense. It really depends on what Odell Beckham we get. Now, the Detroit Lions, don't get it twisted, Amon-Ra St. Brown is a level 1 diva. That's 100%. And I'm not trying to be disrespectful. St. Brown is a diva. He's level 1. All right? You can have A.J. Brown, diva. Antonio Brown, diva, right? Also loony, but you get what I'm saying. So could we stomach? We also signed Jamal Adams last year, and he ain't just, top of the morning, right? He got his little, he had some situations. He didn't last on the team, but we signed him. It depends on what OBJ we get, because as we discussed earlier in this live stream, is the Lions are lacking a third wide receiver. You can blame that on the offense. You could also blame it maybe on the inexperience of the guy they traded up for. Maybe there's a reason Tesla is not. Maybe there's a reason Isaac Tesla is at the bottom of the receiver list. He has the least amount of receptions. He is literally last on the Detroit Lions receiving list. He's got 4 receptions, 8 targets, 50 some odd yards. He is literally underneath. He is the last person, the lowest person, meaning in receptions, targets, all of that, to catch a football from Jared Goff in 2025. Now, Odell Beckham Jr., he did help the Rams win a Super Bowl. I'm just saying, he could provide the spark that we need at a third wide receiver. Is he ready to be a Detroit Lion? And we had a discussion in a live stream earlier this week. Will grit be enough to get you to the Super Bowl? Now, of course, I don't like talking about what people once were, because we all get older. None of us are the same. We wake up the next morning and we're not the same as we were the day before. We all lose something 24 hours. Every day we lose something. But could Odell Beckham give us enough, especially seeing as how we don't have a third wide receiver? That's a great point. Our offense runs through St. Brown. Up next is Jamison Williams. Sam Laporta was number 3. He gone. After that is Jahmyr Gibbs. After that is David Montgomery. After that, it is Khalif Raymond, Brock Wright, Isaac Tesla. There are your receivers for the Detroit Lions. Those are people who have caught passes. If you brought in OBJ, you still got to respect him. You still got to respect him. Will it work in Detroit? I don't know. I don't know that, but that is a great question. So since we're on the topic of Odell Beckham, let's look and see what are his stats. Now, last year was miserable. 9 receptions with the Miami Dolphins, right? I think he was on a couple teams. Miami Dolphins, 55 yards. And the dude is like on his last leg. He is. He's a guy that you couldn't really play all the time. So Baltimore was 2023. He played 9 games with the Miami Dolphins. He had 18 receptions and he had 55 yards. I don't know why. I don't know if that was I know Tua was going through it. I don't know who was getting. You got Waddle, you got Tyreek Hill. I think you still had Jonnu Smith. I think he was still over there at the time, or whatever the situation. So I can't explain this. I don't know what this is. By far the weakest year that he's had. Cleveland. He did have a great couple games, not a great, This is what we're missing, though. We're missing this guy here. So I don't know. I don't know. Would he help the team? I don't think he would hurt it. But again, it's a situation of is he right? Is he the right fit? And Are the Detroit Lions ready to kind of go a little bit past what they're used to? What they're used to. Okay, Williams says, OBJ. No. So his suspension has been lifted. It happened this week. That's why he's not playing. I don't, and that's another thing. I forgot about that. So I don't even know why he got suspended. I have no idea. But just what we know of the Detroit Lions, they wouldn't do this. Should they do it? I'll let you decide that. I'll tell you, I mean, at this point, like I said, we signed Jamal Adams. This is a pivotal year for the Detroit Lions. If they did sign Odell Beckham Jr., it would tell me a few things. One, they know the seriousness of this year. Two, they are now starting to think outside of the box. Maybe grit ain't enough to win a Super Bowl. But even now, Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell, they still speak on that. But yes, Odell Beckham Jr. was suspended. If you guys know in the comment section, put it in. And it was lifted. I did see a tweet that the commissioner lifted his suspension. So he is eligible. It happened this week. He's eligible to play for a team. And failed the D test. All right. If Odell Beckham can't block nobody on the offensive line, we don't need him. Dennis, I disagree with that. I disagree with that 100%. Yes, I did say Caden Davis is on the Browns roster. So put it in the comments. Would you, okay, so that's PED is the D word. So that's different from the S word. That's different from what Jamison Williams went through, right? Jamison Williams, it was a substance. This is something else, the rugs with a D, right? And if you do YouTube, you know why I said it like that. So is that enough though? I mean, would you not re-sign him? Okay, would you or would you not? I'm like here, if we're at the point where making our team better, if OBJ made the team better, why not? Because you're not going to get too many chances at a wide receiver. Now, do we have a guy on the team that could step up? We got Isaac Tesla, get him in the game, right? We've got Jackson Meeks, get him in the game. If you don't want to sign OBJ or any receiver for that matter, use the ones you have. Use the ones. Now, if you don't trust those guys, and as far as I know, there's no connection between anybody on the Detroit Lions and Odell Beckham Jr. And by the way, okay, something that I didn't forget and why I would have to, not be this petty. Don't forget, when Odell Beckham Jr. was released in 2021 from the Cleveland Browns, we were number one on the waiver wire. Y'all remember what Odell Beckham said at the time? Funny how time changed things, don't it? Now, it got him a Super Bowl, because the Rams wind up taking a chance. And that's another thing, too. So let's tackle one thing. First thing is that Odell Beckham said, I will retire before I play for the Detroit Lions. Now, ain't that about a trip? That's funny, ain't it? We sucked. We went the worst. Now we pretty darn good, right? So that's one. Now, on the flip side of that, the LA Rams decided to take a chance on him. And what happened? They got a Super Bowl. Now, granted, 2021 OBJ versus 2025 OBJ, we already know, not the same person. At the same time, if Odell Beckham makes the team better, would you sign him? I don't know. I mean, if Brad said he always trying to make the team better. So if he thought OBJ made the team better, but again, no amount of talent is going to get you on the Detroit Lions. So it is risk versus reward. Would you sign Odell Beckham Jr. to the Detroit Lions? I would say, why not? Why not? This is year 5. The noise will get louder after this year about this team. You're going to hear it. I promise you. If the Detroit Lions do not make a Super Bowl in 2025, you have now entered year 6. It's been half a decade of this regime with no Super Bowl appearances. Not only that, regression. If the Lions get eliminated before the divisional round, that's regression. If we get eliminated before the the NFC Championship game, that's also regression. So in order not to regress, they need to make the Super Bowl. If they don't make the Super Bowl, the noise about both Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell, whether you want to hear it or not, or whether you want to admit it, is going to get louder. So why not take a chance? Of course, if they think, because Odell could be OBJ in the make. AB in the making. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't want a cancer on the team, but if you think that you have a conversation with him, you bring him in, you fill him out, maybe he's matured. I mean, C.J. Gardner-Johnson claims to mature, and he on the Bears, so I don't know. Let me know. It's a great question, though, bro. Great question.